Let's go live to Chopper 13 overhead. You can see the active police presence here. The gunman remains on the loose at this hour. And as the commissioner told us a short time ago, this is going to be a very long night. This started as a water spout. It was on the ground for 4 minutes. You can see some of the debris left behind. And the stunning scenes on the ground, cars lifted and tossed like toys.
Yes, I was married enough.
Louis Solano was back at his collapsed home collecting what little is left.
On the floor.
He was the only person injured when a powerful tornado struck Kent Island Monday. He still can't believe he survived.
I had 5 seconds to get out, and my feet came out first, and I hit the grass there.
Oh my gosh, you came out right here.
Yeah,
and you
I
could probably
thought
see
it
the
was
flashing lightning.
Yes, it was all around me and in the car, and I think it hit the house once too. But I had 5 seconds to get out, and somebody was guiding me. I think it was Betty. My wife, she passed away 6 months ago, and I remember saying to her, "I love you, Betty, honey," and she said, "I love you too, Lou." And I knew she was guiding me.
So many WJZ viewers have been touched by his miraculous story. And Louis wants them to know he'll be okay.
I want to thank the news team, especially your team, for helping the other day to keep me confident that there's still a world out there of kindness.
His daughter did tell us that someone set up a fraudulent fundraising page trying to make money off his tragedy. We've learned it could have been so much worse. A law enforcement source tells us that Prince was trying to target other victims in Delaware but couldn't find them, likely saving their lives.
The apprehension of a very sad day to a close.
Police revealed how they captured Ratty Prince following a massive search. He was on the run for more than 10 hours after shooting 6 people, killing 3 of them. ATF agents from Baltimore took him into custody in Newark, Delaware.
During the foot chase, our suspect did discard a .380 firearm, and which has also been recovered, and he was taken into custody with no incident, nobody hurt. No further civilians hurt, and our police officers are safe as well.
The tragic day began at a granite shop near Interstate 95 in Harford County, where Prince worked just 4 months. He snapped, for some unknown reason, opening fire on 5 of his co-workers.
I won't leave him in the hospital afraid. I'm sorry. I won't leave him in the hospital afraid and alone.
Enoch, a father of 4, hasn't yet spoken after being shot in the head at the granite business where he worked. But Amy has heard the chilling account of how Ratty Prince opened fire on 5 of his co-workers. Her husband is one of only 2 who survived.
I mean, he basically assassinated them. He picked those particular people for some odd reason. I have no idea why.
Amy wants to know why Prince kept falling through the cracks in the justice system. Already a convicted felon, police arrested him last year with a gun. The case was dropped, and a judge refused to grant a protective order 8 months ago after a former employer reported an assault and feared more violence.
A couple days later, I was just so angry. I was angry at the guy that did this. You know, I was angry at courts because he shouldn't have been out. And there might be somebody else out there, and this is going to happen again.
She's now got to provide some sense of normalcy for their family and doesn't see how her husband can ever return to the job where, in one instant, their lives changed forever. Moments ago, the FBI just wrapped up a briefing where they confirmed what we'd been reporting, that the suspected gunman had been living in this area, they say, since March. He had reportedly driven a van from his home in Illinois here, and he was showering at a local YMCA and growing increasingly frustrated at the political direction of the nation. She wanted people to know that she lost her angel, and she pleaded for the killers to come forward. Her son is one of the latest people to be shot at random in Baltimore.
There's no answer for God to tell me why they took Jonathan.
Jonathan Tobash's heartbroken mother can't believe her son is gone. shot to death by robbers when he stopped at a corner store Monday night.
People go into the store, young, blooming college student with so much to live for and dedicate to, society. Life is taken too early. It's just not fair.
Jonathan was just 19. He was a student at Morgan State University, a graduate of Poly, with a bright future. His dad, Mike.
He just wanted to make people happy. He was my best friend.
Police say Jonathan came across a robbery already in progress at the store on Pelham Avenue in northeast Baltimore. Police say the robbers turned their attention to him, shooting him and leaving him for dead.
I just would rather for them to figure out who the guy was and to actually look in his face and ask him just why, simply why would he take such an innocent young man who was doing the right thing.
Please get this guy, whoever they find, because this just hurt my heart so bad. Like, it's like a piece of chunk out my heart just gone. Like, my brother can't call me no more, can't talk to me about anything, can't.
The majority of Baltimore City police officers are going to be really pleased today to see these charges brought against people who are accused of betraying their badges, of betraying their trust to the department.
Federal authorities indicted 7 Baltimore City police officers. Several of them are pictured here in a department newsletter praising their work as part of an exclusive gun task force. They're accused of stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from people obtained illegally during traffic stops and home searches, and fraudulently claiming almost $500,000 in overtime.
These police officers will never, ever, ever again commit the heinous acts that they have been alleged to commit in our community.
One officer took a vacation to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and charged the city overtime for almost the entire week. Another charged OT while playing poker at the Maryland Live Casino. Prosecutors say Tyler Tessier got entangled in a love triangle and a web of lies.
He is a monster, and he is a liar.
Mark Wallen now says his wife was shaking as she sat next to their pregnant daughter's accused killer, Tyler Tessier. They were playing along during a press conference, knowing police already thought Tessier was the murderer.
It defies description, the awfulness and the horror that we have been put through on this.
I think leading up to the weekend that she's missing, I mean, I don't believe anybody has any inclination to think that something was wrong.
On Monday, Tessier pleaded for Laura to come home. Prosecutors now say more than a week earlier, he lured her to his friend's farm in Damascus and killed her. Critical evidence, a text message she sent to her sister. Tyler has me on an adventure in the country. Don't know why I'm here, but it's for something. Really? Where are you? Her sister asked. I'm waiting in a field. She then sent a picture of the spot where detectives found her body in a shallow grave.
We did get the medical examiner's report from the autopsy today, and we found that Laura had been shot in the back of the head.
He lied to my face.
A judge denied Tessier bond. Charging documents lay out a possible motive, revealing Tessier was engaged to another woman and hid that from Wallen, whom he'd also promised to marry.
Hug your kids every day, because nothing is guaranteed.
Crisis teams are on hand at Wild Lake High School, where students have covered Wallen's classroom door with messages of love.
I have to give a personal message to our students and let them know how proud I am of them. They helped us as adults really kind of find a small measure of peace.
The state's attorney says Tessier acted alone, and there are no plans to charge him for the murder of the unborn child. At District Court in Rockville, Mike Hellgren, WJZ Eyewitness News. Baltimore's tallest buildings. The website for manufacturer Arconic touts the use of its Rain-O-Bond PE cladding on the hotel, saying the 23-foot-long panels are the longest the company ever produced. Arconic recently stopped selling Rain-O-Bond PE for tall buildings after this devastating fire last month at Grenfell Tower, a residential high-rise in London. Dion Smith loved working with kids in West Baltimore. They loved him back. Too many here have seen those they care about die. Sadly, Smith is now one of them. His brother, TJ, the face of the Baltimore City Police Department, got the notification as part of his job and immediately dialed Dion's cell phone.
And I remember when I called, I was hoping that he answered, because even what I was doing, even just the fear that it was him, I was going to wherever he was to hug him. And I didn't get a chance to do that.
Police released surveillance video of persons of interest in the murder. Dion was shot inside his home on Argyle Avenue. They believe the 24-year-old father of 3 was targeted, but have revealed little else.
Our progress is very, very rapid, and I'm very hopeful to make an announcement to the city, delivered first, of course, to TJ and his family within the next day or two at the very latest.
Then I called TJ. And TJ answered the phone. Hey, Erica, it's true.
Erica Alston Buck has worked with Dion since he was 14 at Kids Safe Zone, mentoring children in one of Baltimore's toughest neighborhoods. Several people here wore Dion's picture on their shirts.
How do you even say Dion's gone? And death and murder is so normal here, but this one's not normal. Dion's job was to keep kids safe, and he's gone.
And then we're going to move on to the next person until we stop. And it's up to all of us to be, especially the guys on the street, to say enough is enough.
Mary, this is where it all happened here, almost to the moment 6 weeks ago, when police turned this neighborhood upside down, but they're still no closer to solving this case. You can see the memorial that remains for Detective Sean Suter. The FBI now says they'll provide assistance and leads when they can, but that's it. Most of the suspect's social media pages have been wiped clean, but there's a new report that he favorited racist images on a second website. That's part of the story. The other is the grieving going on here. You can see all the flowers that people brought one by one and placed here from the service today, and the messages. This is a campus that's in pain right now. Hundreds packed the garden at the University of Maryland's Memorial Chapel for an emotional service to remember Bowie State student Richard Collins, who was murdered while visiting friends on this campus in what may be a hate crime.
No words can describe the pain, anguish, hurt, and perhaps the anger that fills our hearts.
For those close to Collins, it's important to find out whether he was killed for the color of his skin.
Dealing with a situation such as a potential hate crime, our humanity cannot be forgotten, because that's what that hate crime is. It's the complete opposite of humanity.
The state's attorney spokesman tells WJZ they're still interviewing witnesses, and the FBI is continuing to trace suspect Sean Urbanski's digital trail, which police say includes membership in Alt-Right Nation, a group that posted racist messages. Another published report says Urbanski had a profile on a website where he commented on and favorited racist images. Urbanski's lawyer says his client was drunk when he stabbed Collins in the chest. Both campuses are just trying to make sense of it all.
Like, it's bad enough that someone in an intoxicated state could be violent, but then to be motivated by racial hatred, like that just is like a double painful incident to know that that is right here.
University of Maryland College Park President Wallace Lowe attended the memorial service. A growing number of students have criticized him for doing little to stem racial divisions after several incidents using the hashtag #FearTheTurtle. Collins' killing brought a number of simmering issues to the surface, and healing here will take time. You're looking live back here at the murder scene. UMD stands with Bowie, one of the many signs here. That was certainly true. We saw a number of faculty and students from both schools here at the memorial service today. The big date ahead is June 15th. That is Sean Urbanski's preliminary hearing, when we're expected to learn more about his defense and other details in the case.